Hey guys, I'm Naya and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I decided to do another Q&A because the first one that I did on the channel was quite well received and I was kind of curious if you have any more questions for me, so we're gonna go through the questions that you posted on, that you commented on my community post that I posted, and yeah, hope this video is fun and entertaining for you. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you still haven't. A lot of you are still not, and I would love for you to be part of this community. And if you have any more questions for me, please drop them in the comments, like on any video, and I'll make sure to do a follow-up Q&A if there's anything that you might be wondering. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first question is from Newt, and it says, I think I'm late, but what deck will you be playing in the future? Why will it be Dragon Link? So, fun fact, like me and my husband had Dragon Link for the longest time, ever since its release. We got every single thing we could when it comes to support different versions of Dragon Link in the last 2 or 3 years or something, because we are very big Dragon Link fans. But right now, my husband's playing Dragon Link with the Brave stuff, with everything, like just the Rose Dragon, Dragon Link, Brave thing, and he's enjoying it a lot. So I think I'm going to be picking up some other deck, although I do technically play it because we have it. So there's that, and Dragon Link is amazing. So the next couple of questions are from the same person, and it says if I play any other games other than Yu-Gi-Oh! And I do. Me and my husband play a lot of games on PlayStation, and we're just about to finish Red Dead Redemption 2. He already played it, of course, when it dropped, but I've never actually played it from beginning to end. And it's my favorite game ever, and I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, I'm really into, like, you know, we played Last of Us, we played Uncharted, we played GTA, of course, and Red Dead. And yeah, those are like the games that I'm really into. I don't play any other like games, like card games or chess or anything like that. And also, I'm a huge fan of South Park games. Like, I'm a huge fan of South Park overall, and I love both of the South Park games. I also loved Two Souls. This game was like amazing. Heavy Rain, like a lot of those games. I'm just, you know, I'm a huge fan of games. So yeah. Okay, so the next question is, what's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card? It's Colossus. Like, I love Thunder Dragon Colossus. I love Thunder Dragon. And fun fact, when our guinea pig passed away, I don't know if I told that story in my last Q&A, but when our guinea pig passed away, we buried him with a secret rare Colossus, with a ghost rare Honest, and with a luchador mask, because we're both huge wrestling fans. So we had a merch, luchador mask merch, and we buried him with it. So there's that. And yeah, the next question is, do you have a favorite format, like GOAT, Edison, etc.? I haven't played a lot of, like, every single format, but for the most part, the format I enjoyed the most is one of the competitive formats after I started playing, and it was the Sky Striker, Orcus, Salamangre, Thunder Dragon format. So the Eternal format, I enjoy that a lot. I felt like the game was very healthy, and I had a lot of fun. So there's that. You know, I have a huge appreciation for older formats. I just probably wouldn't say I enjoy them as much as I can enjoy, like, that format. And then the next one is, do you intend to post gameplay or make tournaments with your subs in the future? And yeah, I'm considering that, and when I decide on the specifics, I'll let you guys know. And then the next one is from a lot of 1s and 2 A's, and it's, which 3 cards do you want to see banned? I didn't like go through these questions. I went through them, but didn't really think about them, so I just really want to answer them on the spot. Probably Fiber, Scythe, and let me think. Fiber, Scythe, and I think a good call would be to ban Griffin Rider. So yeah, I think those 3. And then the next one is, what is the best engine of the format in your opinion? And the best engine is the Adventure engine, of course. However, the second best, or probably the strongest, is going to be Punk. Like, Punk is so underrated, or has been for some time, and right now is just really dominating. So Punk, definitely. And what's the best deck of the format? So I would, let me decide. it will probably be like Adventure Synchro Punk, anything in that realm, although Despia is really strong and Sorso is really strong and consistent and all of that. Both of them are great contenders, but it's more so the fact that this deck has just been really taking over the meta, and yeah, I think it's the best one right now. All right, so the next one is, what's your favorite card art? And I really don't know. Like, I love anything hero, like, I don't know, Plasma comes to mind, or like Flame Wingman, of course. There's also Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I think has one of the most beautiful artworks. It's just so badass and just looks so good. And as for like a couple of the older ones, I guess Serpent Night Dragon is like, I think, one of the coolest looking artworks from back in the day. Yeah, probably those. If I think of anything else, I'll put it on the screen. But I'm a huge fan of Live Twin artworks, like anything Evo Twin, Live Twin. I think it's such a cool concept. I have never seen it, and I think it looks dope. So that's the first couple of things that come to mind. The next couple of ones are from Brad, and if I'm not mistaken, you gave a lot of questions like on my last Q&A, and I appreciate that a lot. So thank you for a couple more questions on this one. And the first one is, what are your card sleeves of choice? And I love Dragon Shield. Like, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Shield, and usually I use black or white ones. As for my extra deck, I always like to double sleeve it. I don't want to double sleeve my main deck because my hands are tiny and I cannot for the life of me like hold a deck. Overall, my motor skills are just really bad, so I cannot do that. But I double sleeve my extra deck, and I use the Dragon Shield Matte Clear, like is the red box with like 60 of them, I think. So that's what I use to double sleeve. And as for what's inside, I like to go for like Nat sleeves. I just love those, and I love a couple OCG ones. Hold on, I'll show them to you. So basically, this one is like one of my favorite ones, and it's like an OCG sleeve. And this one is like the blue, so the obelisk version of the ancient tablet. And then these ones, hold on. So these ones are also OCG ones. They're really old. We've had them for some time, but they're really beautiful. Like, they're a bit, they're a bit damaged, but if you double sleeve them, so good. And then I also have, so these ones, my husband really dislikes, but I think they're so beautiful. Like, they look really good. So these would be my sleeves of choice. And then the next question is, what's the best way to learn Yu-Gi-Oh in your opinion for people who are new? So, oh damn. So like, if you're completely new, I would probably just find someone that can explain it to you as best as they can, like as simple as they can, so you get a grasp of the game and what it's all about. And there's a lot of resources online as well, but when you actually get into it, I have a very, very good video. I mean, that's kind of biased, but I think it's a good video to sort of give you a couple tips how to get started. I don't want this Q&A to be too long, but if you want, you can check that video out if you're wondering sort of what would be a couple steps to take when you're first starting out. The next one is, what's your favorite place to buy cards in your hometown or city? So that's a very optimistic question because we don't have anything like that. Like, we have a card shop, but it doesn't actually sell cards. Like, there are no actual like cards under glass counters, stuff like that. We don't have that. So I get my cards online. Like, that's just it. I use Card Market. I go to like the shopping wizard, and I just get my cards in the mail because that's the easiest thing to do. It would be dope to have something like that, but we don't. So then it's the next question is, how would you improve your favorite archetypes or decks in Yu-Gi-Oh right now? So like I said, I love Thunder Dragons. So a way to improve them would be to unban Colossus, although I don't support that. So that would be a way. I'm just not for that because it will be kind of unhealthy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And thank you for the kind words of encouragement. So the next question is from Lava Golem. Shout out Lava Golem. Lava Golem is our team mascot, like the card. And, I love your username. So Lava Golem, if you topped any regional, YCS, etc., what deck did you play? Keep up the great content. Thank you. And I haven't topped the YCS yet. I would love to, but I haven't. As for regional tops, I have a couple. And the first deck I topped with was True Draco. I topped 2 events with ShadowRabbitYGO. Then the next one was I topped with Mythical Beast and Demian. Then I topped with Thunder Dragon right before, actually one day after Colossus got banned, but the list wasn't in effect yet. So this was like a really, really nice top. And then I topped with, I topped a summer challenge here in Slovenia with Adamantia. I also topped a winter challenge, a remote winter challenge with Zoo Outlich, which that deck was so amazing. I love that deck so much. So Zoo Outlich, I topped one, well, I won an extravaganza here in Slovenia with Salamangreat, and I also won 2 regionals with Prankit, and I topped one with Prankit. So those are my tops. The next question is from Alan, and he's a regular guest on the channel, so thank you for posting a question. Worst regional experience? So I think this is the only question I actually spent some time on thinking about what I want to answer, because nothing comes to mind like at the top of my head, but I have it's a cringy story from the European Championship of 2019. I'll be very brief. I genuinely don't want this video to be too long, but yeah, I just don't think I have any bad regional experiences. Like there are like a couple things here and there, but we all have those. But something that really stands out is the European Championship 2019 in Utrecht. And basically what had happened was I was doing quite okay. I think I had 2 losses at that point, which probably, I mean, I wasn't topping, but I was thinking I could still make it to day 2. And it was my first big event, like only big event I've ever been to, ever. And I was hyped, right? I was excited. I just wanted to play, and I was doing quite well. I was playing Orcust, like the Orcust combo with Nightmares, the very healthy deck. So that's what I was playing. And I was up against a Thunder Dragon player, and I beat him very quickly. Like it was a swift 2-0. One game I did my Orca stuff. One game he didn't draw that well. And it was a sweep basically. And my opponent was like, they were really salty. Like they were like, or I guess sad would be the correct word. They were like, oh, I mean, I guess I'm just going to drop, there's no point in playing on. That sucks. Like you beat me so fast. Like I bricked. That's so lame. And I was like, well, yeah, that sucks. But, I was excited for the win. I just wanted to keep playing. So I took the match slip, and then the next round's pairings roll around, and I wasn't on them. Like you get the stuff on your phone to look up pairings. I didn't have a pair, and I was like, that's kind of weird. So I went to a judge, and they were like, no, you dropped. You dropped from the tournaments. Well, what are you talking about? You dropped. And I was like, no, I didn't drop. And turns out that when we signed the match slip, my opponent dropped me from the tournament, not themselves. So yeah, that's the first thing, right? But that's not it. Like I guess that's the worst part, but that's not it. So I was like, well, what can I do? I just want to play. But there was an even amount of players, so they didn't have anyone to pair me up with. So I would have to get a game loss, and then I could be entered again on the next round. But I knew if I had 3 game losses, I wouldn't make it to day 2, because it was 3 game losses, and that's not enough. So I was like, well, that sucks, but like, I guess I'm just going to drop anyway, since I would get a game loss. And then 2 rounds later, there was like an emergency announcement of, if you have 3 losses, you can still make it to day 2. We have changed a couple rules today. It's an exception. I don't really know why, but that's what happened. And I realized I would still need to win every single one of my rounds, even with 3 game losses, but I could still make it. So there was legit no point in me dropping. And my opponent dropped me in the first place. So that really sucks. And to this day, I don't know if it was intentional or not. They didn't seem like the kind of person to do it. They were really nice and quite sportsmanlike when we played, even though they were a bit salty, but you can never know. So that's my experience, and it's a really interesting one. And please make sure to triple check your match slips. please do that. You'll be forever grateful if you do. So yeah, the next question is from Jonathan, and it says a double question. Will you be picking up Splite and playing it? I think I will be. And the next one is, what are my top 5 favorite hand traps? So I haven't thought about picking up Splite yet. I'm not sure if I will. Although we'll see how the format shapes up to be, because it is looking to be kind of like a tier 0 format almost. So I guess you kind of have to have a really good deck and then just play it really well. So I guess I'll see. I haven't decided yet. And as for my top 5 favorite hand traps, Ash is definitely among them because it's so generic. And I also love Winter Cherries. I think the card is so specific, and I traded for it or bought it from someone that was a really good person in our community. So I have a nice story and connection with that. So the next one is Ghost Ogre because it has a really dope artwork. I think the artwork looks really nice. And what else? Like, this is only 3. So what are my favorite hand traps? I don't know. I guess we need to like appreciate DD Crow since it was like the first one. And I guess, let me think. So I've always liked Herald of Orange Light. So I guess that, if it counts. Yeah, I think Herald. No, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm putting No Material because it looks amazing and because it's so specific. And fun fact, No Material was like really crucial in the match I just described of me against the Thunder Dragon player. And they dropped me from the tournament. That match. No Material was very crucial. So No Material. And then the next one from Captain Turtle. And it says, when should you go to your first YCS or regional after topping at your locals like 10, 20, 30 times? Honestly, no. Like, I think you can go whenever. Like, you just need to feel like you're ready. If you don't top regularly, then don't go there with, I guess, an intent of topping. If you do top regularly, then I guess, you know, you might top and you might go ready for that. But if you just want to go for the experience, like, that's completely fine. You have amazing side events and you have stuff that's very specific, like, you know, Duel Links and just stuff that's not exactly the TCG game that we're competitively playing. So yeah, I'm definitely not for like, you know, you need to top to go. That's definitely not it. But if you don't top regularly, I guess I just wouldn't go with an expectation, if that makes sense. But if you try really, really hard and test a lot and you go with an expectation of topping, then you just might do it if you're really, really prepared. So yeah. The next one is from Crow BAA, and it says, do you buy real cards or play just in simulators or Master Duel? I buy real cards. I have a lot of cards. You know, me and my husband have a lot of stuff over there on the shelves and in the binders and everywhere. Like, when we started, we were like just trying to get our hands on as many cards as possible when it comes to staples. And it's 2 of us, so we need to have 2 playsets of every single thing that's good. So we have always just tried to have the cards on hand and the decks, the engines, like just anything. So yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan of like being able to have those cards and own them and hold them and, you know that they're mine. And of course you can borrow something if it's like really expensive or something. Like I'm definitely a supporter of that. But if you can get your hands on some cards, then, you know, I guess it would be nice to have them. The next one is from Clement, and it says, what's your favorite archetype? And it's Thunder Dragon. As I mentioned in this video a lot, I just love Thunder Dragon. Also, I'm a fan of anything hero. Like I said, Destiny hero, Elemental hero. So anything hero, I just want to classify hero as an archetype, even though I'm not sure if it is, but yeah, hero, definitely. Next one is from Big the Boss, and it says, have you played Master Duel? If so, what's your thoughts about the format there? So I sadly don't have any thoughts about the format because I've only played it when it first came out and I just didn't really like it. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of simulators just because I love holding actual cards. but I love using a simulator to like get better. So I'm a big supporter of you going on Dueling Book and playing to test your deck, to get better, to test against a lot of different decks. I support simulators, any kind of them, but I think Dueling Book is the best one. But I'm not exactly someone that will just sit down and play Master Duel just for the fun of it, because I prefer having actual cards, and I also prefer the ban list and the format we have over here. So there's that. The next one is from Collector Joe, and it says, do you prefer diverse formats or tier 0 format better? So this is also a question I have thought about. And honestly, it's neither, and it's both at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, I love diversity because it's amazing to see. However, sometimes diversity is not good because you really don't know how to side, and this is what bothers me a lot. Like, you don't know what you're going to be up against, so you don't really know how to be prepared. I'm not saying diversity is bad because there are a lot of different decks present. On the contrary, I think knowledge is power, and you need to be aware of almost every single deck imaginable, even if the format isn't as diverse, because you can always get that weird matchup. If you're prepared, if you know what a deck does, you're going to be better off. However, like I said, sometimes diversity is not that great when it comes to deck building. So a tier 0 format is much better because you know what you're going to expect. And it also comes down to skill. It comes down to like, to do well in a mirror match. To play a mirror match well, I think takes a lot of skill. And those are like the two things I love to see. A very different deck top, and someone be very skillful when they're playing a deck that everybody else is piloting, because it really differentiates them. So I guess I prefer both in a way. However, I want to stress that the format I'm most into is something like an Eternal format, something like that, when the decks are almost at the same power level and it's like 3 or 4 of the top ones, so you know what to expect, but still it's not always the same deck like over and over and over again if you're watching a feature match or if you're playing against someone. So this would be like my preferred format, but there are, pluses and like negative things about every single format. And the next one is from Andres, and it says, hi, hope you're doing good. Which are your favorite videos to make? For example, okay, so you like the tech cards and the hand traps for the format. I appreciate it a lot. I'm very grateful that I get to, contribute some kind of knowledge to you guys. And honestly, I don't have a favorite video to make because I put 100% of effort into every single video. I will not put out a video that I'm not 100% satisfied with. I will spend hours and just edit and just try my hardest to make a video perfect. But what I guess enjoy the most when I'm actually recording will probably be something along the lines of best decks or budget decks or something like that, because I do think that I have a couple things that I know, about certain decks, and I have a couple things to say, and I just really want to share my thoughts with you and sort of get to be someone that helps you if I can. So these will be the videos that I guess I enjoy the most. But like I said, every single one that I make, I put my 100% in it. And I love also like researching archetypes and stuff like that to be able to do archetype breakdowns for you guys. It's like, I enjoy everything. I mean, I love the game and I love to have a channel and I love to put out content for you guys. So probably every single one is like the most enjoyable to make. And the next two are from Isaiah, and it says a favorite format. Like I said, Eternal format was amazing. And if I play any other TCGs, and I also answer that a bit, I don't. I just play PlayStation or Xbox and Yu-Gi-Oh! That's it. And then the last one is from D-Dot, and it says, you upload pretty often. Is it a lot of work to keep up to date with changes to the game? And that's a very interesting question, because the hard work is not keeping up with changes to the game. I do that like subconsciously. I'm always surrounded by information about the game. whether it be talking with my husband or my friends or just hanging out on YouTube, organization, Road of the King, literally every single website, Twitter also, like, gets me a lot of info. So the keeping up with the info is not hard. The hard part of recording is the actual recording. So like the recording, the editing, I guess coming up with ideas and actually putting them into fruition. Overall, video making is a lot of work that I enjoy 100%. Every second of it I cherish and enjoy. So like gathering info is really not, and just being up to date, I wouldn't say is hard if you surround yourself with the proper information. So that's it. That was the last question. And I gotta say, I loved the questions so much. They were so diverse and so interesting. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got to know a little bit more about me. And like I said, I'm going to say it again, if you have any more questions, please let me know, because I would love to do a follow-up. If you enjoyed the video, of course, like it and sub to the channel, all of that. Check out all of the social media, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.